brands have already approached us to help them find creators, which we weren't even thinking about yet. What the brand said was like, can you just handle this for us? We want to launch a product across the Caribbean, find 3 to 5 creators that can carry this product for us.
Welcome to Pushing Your Peers Podcast, the #1 podcast in the region for living a progressive and happier life. Can Caribbean artists turn their creativity into sustainable careers? On this episode, we're joined by Patrico and Jav, co-founders of FAMA, a platform designed to highlight Caribbean creators, track their impact, and connect them with brands and opportunities. We explore their growing creative economy, creator monetization, and why Caribbean talent deserves greater recognition. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so you never miss an episode. Sit back, relax, and let's get ready to push some peers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the FAMA kids to Pushing the Peers Podcast. Yes. We are excited to have these two gentlemen who has been taking social media by storm recently, especially amongst Caribbean creators. I mean, as a creator, it's always great to see you being recognized, especially by up-and-coming platforms. And I can tell you, it was inspiring to see my name up there. I'm like, wait, hold up. What I doing up there? Wait a minute. But I explored their platform and I was like, yo, people need to know what these guys are doing. Let's get these guys on a podcast because I love what they're doing. They're not only are they highlighting creators, they're creating bridges to connect to other creators. And I just want to start the podcast with a question of what inspired you to launch the platform FAMA?
So I think it's all started from our own interest in the Caribbean culture and creators in general. Like we're constantly discovering new creators from the island. Whether you're following or not, the algorithm put creators in your feed. And it just clicked to us earlier this year. Like we have billboard for like musician. Can we create a chart for like creators, like something that everybody can recognize and something that people want to be a part of? And besides that, a community around creators, big or small, right? That can recognize and celebrate their achievement, track their numbers over time, and eventually build it into something bigger. We have a lot of ideas of what it can become, but that was kind of that jump off point basically.
Man, I see this growing into like the Famous Creators Awards,
Yep.
on some next Hollywood. I will be podcast of the year. Like I put it in my application.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody doing this better than me. Now I'm just joking, guys. It's all
No,
fucking
no, you know what, Leah? Actually, I actually made a logo for the FAMA Awards, you know. We're speaking it into being.
Hold on.
Without the investment, without the
Dream it big.
production, it's already written down.
That's what I'm talking about. Yo, guys, all right, yo, one thing, but yo, like cheer for people. All right, guys, I wanna dive more into like the whole orange economy, creative economy. You know, there's a huge peak in creation right now in the Caribbean. It's like every time I go on social media, I'm seeing a new Caribbean creator, and when I click on their profile, they have a huge mass following. I'm like, wait, I didn't even know this guy. What this guy came about all of a sudden, right? So tell me about the monetization for these platforms. Is like how are these guys getting into monetization because they're putting so much effort into creativity? From your research, what can you tell about platforms and monetization? And is this industry worth us getting into?
I can go first. So it varies a lot, and that's where we're studying and we're trying to understand some of those numbers as well. It's again we don't have a database that we can pull this number from, so we've been doing a lot of research. But I'm start with like from the US, right? It's more well documented. It is estimated around 44 billion US dollars would be spent on creators in the US this 2026. And we did some research and I created some models to estimate how much will flow to Caribbean-based creators and we come up with a number between 25 to 75 million. This is a FAMA estimate, US dollars, and this is just Caribbean based creators, not the diaspora. Um, and so it's a very lucrative field. It's a growing field, and creators make money in different ways. You're a creator yourself, whether it be through ads on Google or through sponsorship or selling their own products as well. But of course, there are some challenges. Even talking to creators and learning more, realize that it's not it's not equitable across even the Caribbean, right? You have creators in the islands that are doing really good, but again, payment restrictions or the US dollar ads won't flow there because they're not based in the US. And so there are different challenges. And so one of the things that we're open to do is to really build even that database around these numbers and also highlight these creators. Some of them might not have the big following, but they might have really good engagement. Like for instance, when you look at your numbers recently, we see that you're around 9.6 or 8% engagement. I was looking at your YouTube and some of those stuff we wanted to highlight about around even small creators and how they have a really loyal following as well that are influenced by them that would buy brands product as well. So that's it kind of in a nutshell. It's very again diverse. It varies a lot based on certain creators. YouTube have super chats and those different stuff. There are various different ways that you can earn. I see you Facebook now have subscription to profiles and stuff. So TikTok with gifting and all of that. I know for the Jamaican creators, they do make their money from gifting. Tap up the chat. What's the name?
The roses.
Tap up the screen. So there are a lot of ways for people to make money. Of course, you have some guys who are just leading the game and just killing the game, and then you have the or rising stars that we want to highlight as well.
Jeff?
Yeah, so basically, I feel like the opportunity is there to make the money. It's more of, I think the Caribbean, it's more of a data issue because brands and even the government may want to invest in the creative economy, especially creators, but they don't have the information. So what FAMA is trying to do is to bridge that gap because if they don't know who are the major players, if they don't know who are the emerging players, they don't know who has the momentum, where they are, or are they going to invest in them intelligently? So I think that's the issue. It's not that it's not lucrative. The opportunity is there. It's just to connect the creators with the opportunities.
One more thing I want to add before you even move on, Leah. So when we're adding creators to our database, we do a lot of research. We spend hours finding creators. Hours. There's not a profit. Some creators are doing well at it. Some of the creators don't have a professional page or a professional or a consistent. For instance, let me use a name as example. I'm searching for a creator. I'm trying to add their Facebook, their Instagram, and their TikTok to their database. The names are totally different across platform. There is an underscore, there is a plus, there is a minus, and I'm like, how would a brand know to connect these accounts together? It seemed trivial, but during the research, I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, you're not showing your entire presence across the platform and how much you're doing. So you're kind of undervaluing yourself in a sense when you're to perceive to brands and so forth. So even that is just one simple thing I noticed while going through. I'm like, you're running a business, you have good following. Why wouldn't you make your business name recognizable? I don't know if you follow what I'm saying or agree what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what you're basically saying is that as creatives, because we're not using that same uniform handle across all platforms, we're hurting ourselves. And
Because the thing about
go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, the thing about it is the brands they don't want to do a lot of work, a lot of digging to find. And you think about it, they find a creator, they have to think about is this person the right fit? There's a lot of stuff to think about. So if finding the creator alone proves so difficult, you find them on Instagram, all right, how they doing on TikTok? You search the same person on TikTok, you can't find that person because on Instagram their name is blue, on TikTok it's orange. It's just and brands yeah, they don't want to go through that rigmarole. So it's like you're shutting the door on your own opportunity just by that simple thing.
new lovers, old lovers, potential lovers, best friends, girls' night out. If you want somewhere to go to this Saturday, August 22nd, that will be the Rotaries Club of Providenciales, the paint night happening at Las Brisas. It will be a night filled with love with the theme of R&B music, and all proceeds will go towards worthy causes. Grab your tickets. This is going to be a night to remember.
You stopped to tell me just one more time.
Now, you guys, both of you guys have talked about brands, right? I'm a creative. I've just launched my platform. How should I be tailoring my platform to appeal to brands? Like, what are some steps and things I should be doing to sell myself to the global market or even a big brand?
But one other thing, we don't want to act like we are the expert at this as we're learning as well. But brands have already approached us to help them find creators, which we weren't even thinking about yet. We just wanted to focus on the charts and the numbers and building out our infrastructure. And one of the things one of the brands said was like, can you just handle this for us? Tell it we want to launch a product across the Caribbean. Find 3 to 5 creators that can carry this product um, for us. And so it would have been easy if you go on a creator profile. You can easily see, again, some have Linktree, which is good. Linktree, which show you all of your platform and stuff. Or a media kit. Go on your platform and easily see a media kit, who you are, what type of content you create, some of your recent numbers and stuff. I think that's as a really the basic, right? Because yes, you're focused on your content. Like Leo, you're focused on your podcast. And you want to create the best content, but there's also the business side that you have to pay attention to as well. And so that's one of the things we plan on launching soon, which is a simple media kit for creators, that for Caribbean creators only. A free media kit. Once you claim your profile on our website, you can then have a quick media kit that show your numbers and some of your engagement data.
Jav, you want to chime in or you good?
Yeah, it's basically just to reiterate what Patrico was saying. Like the media kit, I feel like that's something that's is very important, because while they can see your following, all right, that's one thing, but how engaged is your audience? What are your numbers? What are your metrics? How are they going to see that? And I've seen it where creators have published their media kit and they don't update it for a very long time afterwards, but you have to keep up to date with that. Otherwise, if it's outdated, like, what are you doing now? It means it's irrelevant.
Absolutely. Now, you talked about followers, right? I noticed that when you guys are releasing data, you show like a combined following across all your social media networks. Tell us about that. And I also want you to answer the question of, is followers still relevant in today's social media, or is it about engagement?
I think
Yeah,
it's
I think
I think
it's
it's
more
both.
about engagement, because based on one of the research that we published recently, it in the research it said that brands typically they partner with persons between, I think, the mid
50K,
tier region,
50K and 500,000. Yeah,
500K. Yeah,
yeah.
so the mid tier region, which is about 50K and 500K. So, and that's because of the engagement. There's loads of pages, loads of content creators with over 1 million followers, but it's what, 61% partnering with the mid tier. And then for micro creators, they're partnered with just as much as the macro creators. So it's not like the macro creators are getting more of the deals than the micro creators. So while followers and reach is important, engagement is probably higher up the list right now.
Yeah, I agree. I initially said both because the followers have a perceived look as well, and of course, because more people also follow you, there's a whether they just like or whatever, it can then go into other people's feed, and then that push your content as well. So I think followers definitely important because you want to grow, but then how engaged are your followers basically? You're asking, yeah.
Now, I've been telling you guys about my social media feed. I don't know what it is about my social media feed in Caribbean creators, but a lot of them be popping up, right? So I think the question is, can we dive fully into being a creator, or is this still a side hustle field for Caribbean creatives? I know in America, people doing this full time, but can is this something that we can transition into full time based on the research and data that you've seen?
100%. At least a few of our interviews and talking with creators, we're seeing that where they are doing it full time and they're able to feed their family and take care of themselves and um, even making comparable income to the traditional 9 to 5 or more in a lot of cases. So I think there's definitely the opportunity to turn it in a full business. Of course, it takes time to build that audience, and you have to create quality and consistent content um, as well, but definitely the opportunity is there. One thing to note though, we don't only track creators who are in the Caribbean, we do track the diaspora. So you might see somebody on our chart that lives in New York, but you know, them a yard man, you know, they're from yard, so we still track
Mm-hmm.
them as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jav, anything?
No, I basically back up what Patricia just said. Like, yeah, that's the long and short of it.
Now, when you guys look at your database, right, and you look at all these creatives, I mean, I think this is an opportunity now to shout out the persons who are doing like good jobs. Like when you who would you say we should look up to as creators in the Caribbean right now who's doing a fantastic job with content and social media management across all platforms? Who would be like I guess the Warren Buffett of this?
You put us on
That's
the
a very
spot
tough question.
right now, and we don't want to be biased against DR because we're
How
still
many
learning.
names out there?
You know, the Dominican Republic, especially the Angel Fire and those people who create gaming content, really, really huge following. We're still trying to reach the comments to understand what they're saying. Um, Trini, that's Samson, right? Jamel Simpson or Samson, doing really good, consistent content from Trinidad. From Jamaica, we have this guy called Bad Siki, consistent, growing consistently week over week, right? 10 to 20,000 followers grow week over week. Dale, and so we have a lot of these are some of the names that are I just pop up and I remember. You have to from 80 as well. I don't
Spinny,
remember the name. This couple. And this girl from 80 as well, Ariana,
Ariana.
on
Yeah.
average like 100,000 followers each week. So there's some big numbers, and it varies as well, right? But some people are really doing really really good, and we'd love to understand what is driving their growth. We want to get behind the numbers as well. So eventually, we want to build a relationship with these creators. We want to publish some of this, and we also want to help small creators because each one help one, each one help each other, right? So that's what we're thinking about. We're trying to get behind some of these numbers to really understand what's driving some people growth versus others as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then you have Spinny from Barbados. He's doing very well. And the thing about Spinny that I realize is he brings something very unique where he's doing his cultural fitness classes. And I see that like he's growing like on average, he's never below 10,000K a week. Never ever since we started to track. So I can see that persons are really taking to his entertainment, his cultural fitness.
Where is Jody from? There's Jody. Jody have a really. She don't have the largest following, but there's this
She got support.
togetherness around
Dominica.
Jody and support from Dominica as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we noticed some of these stuff as well. Smaller islands they might have the population, but they're really bonded together. Yeah.
Now, FAMA team, ladies and gentlemen, let's clap these guys up again for the amazing work that they are doing. Absolutely. There's a saying: women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. So we can see clearly these guys have done their research, and based on this research, what are some of the mistakes persons make when they're entering or even being in the creative field that stops their platforms from climbing up based on what you've seen?
I think one of the so we're just working on an analysis right now. Finished it last night. So you're getting first dibs. We analyze around 40,000 YouTube comments. We're trying to understand again the Caribbean culture. So what better ways to just dig into the data? Um, and so we are open that we get some insight from this. I think just thinking about the longevity of some creators probably stop too soon before they monetize because it take a while to get monetized some of the time, right? So people might get discouraged. So that's I think that's probably a mistake. For instance, we highlighted some folks that in Rising Star, like they have 15,000 or 30,000 followers. Um, and we talked with one creator, and it's like it was like, should she continue doing content creation? Is it worth it? So I think one mistake is just giving up too early, and we want to recognize these creators to motivate them as well. Like, hey, we're seeing you, and if you're a creator in the Caribbean, you producing content, we're gonna find you. We will find you, and we're gonna highlight you. So that's one of the things I want to say to the small creators: don't give up too soon. But in terms of just like understand the data, we're still running analysis to really understand some qualitative things behind the numbers.
Yeah, and to add to what Patrica just said as well, the other day we posted I think it was a micro creator chart, and one of the response that we got from one of the creators on the chart was that this is exactly what they needed to just as motivation to start like creating consistently again. So yeah, it's definitely an issue where because they're still small and probably not growing as fast as some other creators, they get demotivated. So I was when I saw that I was so happy because I'm thinking this is exactly why we do Rising Stars. We celebrate micro creators because we want to know that look, they're being seen and we are trying to get them seen even more.
I mean, thank you guys so much for the things you are doing, and you keep alluding to the fact that you are actively engaging creatives, right? You have your platforms. Are you saying in the near future there's going to be an opportunity to join a FAMA community where we will have exercises and workshops and all these other things? Because I can see the vision. I don't know if that's really something you guys are working towards, but I love it.
Yeah, we really want to, as I said, have a strong relationship with the creators. We want to understand your culture and your local geography. We're open that we can do an island tour. We don't have the budget yet, but we are open that we can go further. Um, at the moment, we're doing like over the phone interviews and we're writing articles. We want to go and meet creators in person. And would love to have ambassadors across the different island and have different communities. So that's something that we would love to have, right? Some communities, community leaders, where we can share resources. We're gonna be doing a lot of research. So I have a research background, so I will be doing a lot of research. Um, we're open to even get a few papers published around the orange economy that you allude to earlier on. So it's a lot to come, basically.
Man, sweet.
Yeah. And not only are the creators the community, but we have this thing that we call the FAM. And the FAM is basically everyone that participates on our pages, on our platforms. The commenters, the other aggregators, everyone. The creators, that's the FAM. And that's a
Yes, the
part of
fam. How can
the
we forget
community.
fam? Who want that name to be remembered? The
Yeah, the
fam.
FAM.
Because the fam have already started helping us. We published a chart and we got the country wrong for someone. I'm like, no, this person's from like they're not Dominic or no, this person from St.
Mm-hmm.
Lucia. So we're also relying on the fam. Because we try the best to be as accurate as possible when it come on to make association a country with somebody. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes some creators hide their country or they don't really, it's not really that publisher so visible, so we have to dig to find clues basically.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So I remember this one creator is from Trinidad, and we had to go through like a video transcript and we saw a line where he mentioned where he's from. I'm like, you're from Trinidad. So the fam help us with all of that as well, comment and say, hey, this person is from this person. Oh, was not theirs. And this one, the Caribbean a little bit competitive at times, so we like that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Now you guys are in constant conversations with these brands, right? What is one thing that immediately pulls brands to creators based on what you've learned throughout this whole entire process thus far?
I think brand immediately see the momentum, like, when a creator is hot and they're consistently creating and people consistently sharing um their content. But I think they also want to look at beyond that's the numbers and stuff. The alignment that the alignment is this creator aligned with they're trying to what they're trying to produce, right? Or what they're trying to advertise. Um, so the alignment, of course, engagement. I don't remember the other thing, but there's some other stuff.
Yeah, if
Absolutely.
basically if they're the right fit, if they fit the company, the brand, the tone, just the reputation, and they look at the work ethic as well, or well they work, or well they engage with their audience.
So we are seeing, uh, especially in the area of telecommunications, right? There's a decline in a lot of these companies, right? And I've seen in Trinidad where, the Digicels and these other companies are actually aligning themselves with creators. So your advice to companies right now, because I'm pretty sure there's some big corporate people listening in on this episode. What would be your advice to them who are kind of on the fence with this? They don't know much. I mean, this is way past their generation, but you guys are making a lot of sense to them and may want to tap into their local creative market. What would be your advice to these corporate leaders?
Two things. I'm gonna quote a stat. There's a stat in one of the report that we read that 1 in 2 brands say that a creator is a must buy. Like you must have a creator part of your marketing budget, right? So that show how important they are. And when I was going through the YouTube analysis, and I did this thematic analysis, and one of the things I was trying to break out was commercial signal in the YouTube comments. And you can see people say, "Oh, you shop here, we're gonna shop here. You bought this item, we're gonna buy this item." So those are brand signal, right? So just again going beyond the numbers and looking at what the community in the comments and what they're saying. We bought a camera recently. It was a creator that we watched with that camera and bought the camera, right? So there is influence there, and so this is where brands should be looking to spend their ads dollars. And we are hoping that brands eventually reach out to us where we can make them more informed when it comes to the Caribbean creators.
Hmm. Yeah, and traditionally, brands and the corporate companies would look at probably like athletes, musicians, and so forth to be like the face of their companies and stuff. But thing about it is, with the creators, I feel like they're not isolated and distant from their audience. They actually engage with the audience. So the audience or a person is more likely to buy a product or go for a service based on a creator's recommendation than from a celebrity.
Amazing. Like you getting that real data. It's not fabricated. It's like this is real actual data you'll be getting by tapping into the creative's audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the FAMA team on, and they've been giving us a whole 101 creative 101 class. A lot of information shared. They're building a transformational platform. Please check them out. The link in the description is in the bio. These guys are doing a fantastic job, and I want to commend them for the work they are doing. Now, you want to be a guest on my show? If you didn't get to push some peers, are you ready?
Hey, let's go.
Are you ready? Any word or words that begins with the letter P that has been transformational to your journey, you now have a chance to push your peers. Any one of you.
Perseverance immediately come to mind, like because again we're building out the infrastructure that we're not it's not there already where we're just copying something, right? So we're building something a little bit novel in a sense, and it's not that automated process, whereas it's semi-automated. We spend nights and days trying to find creators, and just being brave enough to reach out to creators, even though we're very small. Reach out to creators with million followers, and they have partnered with us, and so that we appreciate that, and so we just be persevering regardless of the obstacle might the way. And we love this. We love the challenge. Like we're excited about this. So we're just motivated. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me
That's
it's
great.
passion. It's passion. And you have to have the passion because it takes a lot of work. Like a lot of work. Like I'm on my laptop as early as the morning is, as late as the night is, always reading through comments, trying to find new creators, trying to connect with people. You have to have the passion because you get burnt out real quick if you're not like into it.
What
Along
has
with balancing other stuff that you need to do, like you have to be into it.
have you guys had any challenges thus far with this platform? Any significant challenges?
No, I think I'm very technical, and so any issue or hiccups we solve it really quick. And I think initially, again, we might made a few mistakes in terms of the country and stuff, but the farmers, they're appreciative, and they're like, they will point it out, and we just appreciate that feedback.
Absolutely.
And we just carry it and move on. But besides that, I think it has been a really good journey so far, and just looking to continue push it. And again, we want to continue even talking with you and just building a relationship with you in Turks, and one at a time we can visit and connect as well.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for me the biggest obstacle I would say was when we were just getting started to like find the initial set of creators to add to the database. Like it was a task and a half. And even with that process, that's where we realized that look, this what we're trying to build is something very good. Because when we're trying to find the creators, there's nowhere to like go. You Google them, you trying to Google creators in Anguilla. It might show you some celebrities, not really like a proper like content creator. So yeah, probably that was our biggest like obstacle, just finding the initial set of creators. But once we start to find like one and two, like one led to the next and to the next and to the next, so it was smooth sailing from there.
But one we haven't found any creators from this small island called Saba. So we're hoping to find some creators from there. It's a very small
It's a Dutch
population.
island.
Yeah, Saba. Any Saba creators, find us. Yeah.
Now, I did mention earlier you might have some business people, investors listening on this episode. $1 million
Mhm.
right now as capital for FAMA. What are some short and long term goals you're gonna do with $1 million backing for this platform? I know it's not. Listen, I talk to business people a lot. The first day they say, Leo, $1 million is not a lot of money. I'm like, well, you got to start with something, right?
Start somewhere.
We're talking $1 million, right?
Absolutely.
I think for me, the technical infrastructure would spend some money on building out that the infrastructure, where we can do a better job of building out our database, and also building more creator tools, right? We want to build tools for creators that can help them really thrive on the business side. And then on the brand side, we want to build a system that can help brands to easily find creators based on credible data, and eventually even launch ads campaign for them, our marketing campaign with creators. So managing that relationship. We talk about a brand reaching out, and they're just handle everything for us. So think about, all right, this is not really what we wanted to do, but we could manage the entire relationship between the brand and the creator. So that's something that we're thinking about. And then we have the media side, that we're really big on the media side. We want to do some media content. We want to be able to do. Should I share this? But we want to do more behind the scene with creators. Like you're recording, Leo, would love to come visit you and spend a few hours with you and get some real insight. Not the surface level stuff that we can produce original content. So those are some where we'd put some of that $1 million that you're promising us now, Leo. Thank you.
No, and to add to that as well, we'd also spend some back with the creators in the Caribbean countries because we'd like to have some ambassadors from each of the islands, and yeah, so some of that money would definitely go directly back into the creative industry and into the Caribbean.
Sweet, man. Ladies and gentlemen, let's clap these guys up again. Wonderful work. Of course, I always have a spin-off question for this show. Are you guys ready?
I think so.
Go on.
This one is easy, man. This one is easy. If an island or the Caribbean suffered a total internet blackout for an entire month, which top creators would completely disappear and who would still hold real influence on the block? Let's cancel out the ones who would disappear because I don't want, but let's focus on the second half of that question. Who would still be relevant today after 1 month of not creating?
I have to plead the fifth on this one, though.
Like I want none of that smoke.
I have to plead the fifth on this one.
Jav,
I don't know, man, but I feel like Spinny would keep people entertained with his classes though. So he would definitely have some content after the blackout passes. So yeah, it'd be all right.
That guy from Trinity too, man. I think his fan base is super locked in. So if he takes a month off, I don't see nothing. I don't see no dip from him for sure. Samson,
For sure.
yeah. Like
Sure.
he could take a month off. He'll be all right.
Yeah. This guy really working
But guys,
hard.
I mean, first and foremost, man, thank you so much for taking this interview on. I always shoot my shots. I mean, hey, you never know. And I appreciate you guys really coming on this platform as an up-and-coming podcaster myself, So thank you guys for blessing me with your presence. Of course, any way we can support down here. I know pretty much all the creatives down here. So any connection you need in the Turks and Caicos Islands, I got you. Of course, I can't wait to be in my black suit at the FAMA Awards.
Amen.
I'm nominated for #1 podcast in the region. Absolutely. We speaking
Living a healthy life. Yes.
yeah. Once you know my tagline. Oh, yo. You see it? But absolutely, man. I can't wait to be attending your award shows. This is a marathon, not a sprint, and I'm not looking for instant success when it comes to this. I'm looking for something sustainable with a strong framework, and I believe you guys have the right mindset based on this conversation. So, of course, thank you. And you have any final words before we close out?
Thank you very much for having us. It was we love your energy, and the creators out there, keep doing your thing. I know it's hard work, get it every day, making content, thinking of content. For the small creators, keep going, keep persevering. This is your passion, keep doing it.
Yeah, man. And bless up Leo for having us as well. Bless up, and yeah, we're gonna come to the Turks and we're gonna lock in as well. You give us a tour of the island, we do some behind the scene content, and we get down like that.
Absolutely, man. We can't wait to welcome you here in the Turks and Caicos. Patrico and Jav and the FAMA community and FAM, thank you guys so much. Continue to support each other. We love you guys. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys next week on Pushing Your Peace Podcast.